So I'm going to hand over to Imran now, and we can talk a little bit about document management inside Windchill. So Imran, over to you.
Thanks, Alan. Hi, everyone. So yeah, we'll get into the document management side of it. So next slide. Cool. So I'll just recap a bit on what Alan mentioned previously. So managing documents within Windchill is easy, allows for all the relevant information to be stored within a single location. When we're adding new documents, we can define a document type, and this is going to control the attributes, lifecycle, and permissions of that document. Windchill provides a secure file management system with only authenticated users having access to the files themselves. Windchill can be integrated into Microsoft Office, providing Windchill functionality from within the program itself. So you can see a little snapshot of that there. And the ability to compare documents using the inbuilt compare functionality within Microsoft Office, Excel, and so on. Next slide. Okay, so this is just a little snapshot of the desktop integration. Once we've installed Windows Desktop integration, we'll be able to see the Windchill tab displayed within the program. So you can see that up the top here, and we can see the functionality that it provides. We can also access Windchill files from within Windows Explorer. So just on your local machine, you can access it like any other file system on your computer. Next slide. So some of the capabilities of document publishing allow us to watermark and include Windchill attributes. This is handy to pull in that kind of information into your published documents. You can use the markup tools within CreateView to add comments and then review them at a later date and feed them into change processes. We can automatically publish PDFs and other file formats when documents reach a specific lifecycle stage. And we can use the batch printing system to print multiple documents. Okay, so we'll jump into a demo and I'll show you a little bit more on how the document management side works. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. Okay, so the idea here is I've navigated to my product folder. So same data set that Alan was using before, except we're looking at the document side of it. So here we can see that Windchill easily allows us to identify the type of document we've got stored. So everything from the Word documents, JPEGs, PDFs, URLs, so forth. Over on the left-hand side, we have the general status and also the change status of any item, and hovering over it will give us additional information. So we can see that this document has been checked out by the user Dawn. Up the top here, we have views. So views allow us to filter the results in our table based on a specific criteria. Say I look for in work, we can see all the documents here are in an in work state. So it allows you to filter your results down and just show the information that's relevant to you at the time. These are all customizable, so you can customize your own or use the presets that are there. When creating a document, we simply just click in the new document icon and we're asked to define a product type based on a list of subtypes that we have. So in this case, we'll just go document and we can choose a template. So template is going to control the primary content source. So in this case, if I choose the safety datasheet one, and it will also pre-fill some of our attributes. So in order to create this document, I would simply just type in a name and then follow the prompts to create it. Okay, so what I'll show you now is, this is the web browser portion of it. We'll take a look at the desktop integration aspect. So when we've installed desktop integration, where we see this icon and we're simply making sure we're logged in, and then we can drill down into the relevant folders that we've seen within the web browser. So as you can see, these are the same documents that were displayed previously. And we have the Windchill attributes pulled through. So you have the same information, but able to view them within your local computer. So what I'm going to do is add a document in. So it's going to bring up this wizard, same as before, selecting my type. It's pre-filled some of this data. I'm going to add a classification for it. So in here, our classification attribute is defining where in our classification tree it's going to be placed. So in this case, I'm going to choose accessory manuals. And then check that document in. So we'll give this a second to upload. And there we can see that document has been uploaded to Windchill. And just make note of this version 1.1 and the state in work. So what we're going to do now is check this document out and make some modifications to it. So let's go ahead and update the heading. And a handy thing we can actually do is incorporate Windchill attributes. So what this is doing is pulling in that Windchill information, that data from Windchill into our document. So as the document gets revised, gets updated, these identifiers are going to get updated themselves. So we'll add these two in, and we'll save it and then check it in. Just adding a comment. And then Windchill's going to go ahead and upload that. And there we are. So that is now in our system. Just to note, we can also create new documents from within the program, as well as open and search for Windchill files. So we can see now, if I refresh this, we have the new version and the state is still the same. So I'll just jump back into the web browser. If I refresh this, we can see that that has now pulled through and the new version number is displayed. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly change the state and show how that information updates. So I've changed that to released, and we can see that's reflected here. And what we're doing is Windchill has gone and generated that viewable for us, and we'll take a look at it within Create View. So we can see that heading is now being updated, as well as that Windchill attributes that we added to the document itself. So it's a handy way of pulling that information through, and then users can either use the desktop integration to view the files, or they can view it within Create View. So the other thing to note, within Create View, we have the ability to add markups. So if we're looking through the document, we suddenly see something that is possibly incorrect, we can go ahead and create this markup. So in this case, I will say and we'll save this out as an annotation set. So now when I look at the visualization, we can see that that annotation set note has been pulled through and it's within the document itself. So this can be used at a later stage for review purposes. It's a handy way of identifying issues and making sure that they're documented. So let's jump into some of the search functionality. So searching, like before, we're just expanding the navigator. We have search history, so previous searches that we've actually done. We have save searches, either by the user or the organization. We have the ability to do advanced searches, typing in a keyword, we can choose types, contexts, criteria, or attributes themselves. And the other one that is up here, so the type will do what's known as an index search. So we're going to look for the word indie. And what you can see here is that Windchill has gone and searched for the word indie, and some of these names actually have indie in it and some don't. But you've got this text preview column. So if I hover over it, Windchill's actually searched the contents of the document and found the first instance of the word indie and it's showing it to us. So it's not only just searching your attributes, the names themselves, but we're actually searching the document. So it's very powerful in terms of finding information that you may have a snippet of and you're trying to look for that kind of information. Over on the left-hand side, we have search facets. So additional way of refining that information within the table. So we just click it and we can refine it like so. So up the top here, we have the classification explorer. So this is available to those that have the Windchill parts link add-on. And it works for both parts. And like Alan mentioned, new is the document side of it. So here we can see a graphical way of representing our documents. So instead of looking at through the folder and just having all of our documents there, we can have it based on the classification tree and each of the classifications. So we can simply jump into, say, owner manuals. I can see all the owner manuals there. If I want to look at MSDS information, I can see the same thing. And we can also look at a combination of them. And then we can see that it's showing both of those. So like before, we have access to that faceted search to refine our results. We also have the in-table search. So if I'm looking for a specific document, in this case, this document, I can use the document itself to do a similar object search. And what this is doing is it's using the attributes contained within the document to find other documents. So I can say I want a product series, and let's maybe add some modifiers. So I want to look for the Indie and Voyager product series, and then hit search. It's going to populate that list for us. And in addition to just having one, I can select multiple. So in this case, let's select the number, quick search. It's going to only generate that initial document that we use because it has that specific number. So that's just another way of searching for similar documents using Windchill. So that's the end of this portion of it. I'll hand it back to Alan to finish up.
So today we had a bit of a look at some of the core of PDM around CAD data management and document management and the publish and visualization that's available with them. So plenty more topics to cover in our future webinars. I should also mention we also had a bit of a look at search capabilities are inside Windchill as well.